SHOWBIZ.
Hello to welcome. Sorry, let me start again. Hello and welcome to SHOWBIZ News.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Well, we don't bitch.
Hollywood.
We don't bitch. We don't say nasty things. We look for the humour within the stories and within the fantastic world of celebrity.
I was just trying to be a bed of music
Quite
underneath
good.
you, wasn't
I liked
it?
it.
Yeah, I quite like that.
So, just to annoy the viewers. Annoy the viewers
How do you
that
annoy
are
someone?
sick of the Kardashians. I'm going to start with the Kardashians just a little taster.
Can I just
to
say-
warm us up, because there is no better illustration of the craziness of celebrity than the Kardashians.
Can I ask, will there come a point where the Kardashians are no longer the go-to top? I mean, they are the manifestation of showbiz. Are they the current? Because the weird thing about them is they're nothing other than what they are. It's not like they've been actors or anything.
No, I don't think they're the manifestation of showbiz. I think they're the manifestation of celebrity as we know it in the modern world. One who is celebrated.
For
right?
what?
Well, that's why this is quite an interesting story.
Oh, okay.
Now, I do watch the Kardashians, so I know everything about them, and I know everything inside. I know the inside outs of everything they show us.
You're not the only one that knows them inside and out.
That they show us. And
No, I'm
Kim Kardashian does get a lot of stick, and of course, a lot of their lives are completely bizarre. But she is doing some real good for people that have been, the prison system in America is brutal. People can be put away and put on death row forever. Some of them not really doing that much.
Hang on a minute.
Are
we heading inexorably towards someone who... There's a tendency in this country for women, specifically, to sort of befriend and then fall in love with serial killers. Is that what this story is about?
I think this began for Kim Kardashian when she helped a woman, I can't remember the details, but she'd been in prison for decades for a really minor crime. And she's kind of been forgotten by the system.
Right. Is
And
that when she went and see Trump?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian got involved. She is a Democrat, she always says that.
Yeah.
She's not a Trumpite. And she did get this woman released. And I'm sure, to be fair, that must be an amazing feeling. And I think
if she was innocent.
Yeah. And I think she is trying to do some good with her celebrity. And so I think, why not say good for you? So she's at the moment studying to be a lawyer. Of course, her father was the famous lawyer.
He really was.
Who was O.J. Simpson's lawyer. But meanwhile, she's making a documentary about the justice system in America.
Okay.
And she went to this particular prison and she met all the prisoners there, one of whom is Momolu Stewart. He served 2 decades in prison. He's obviously an exemplary prisoner. He's studied.
What was he in for?
I haven't actually been able to find that out, but I presume that I'm presuming it's drugs, because that's part of his release.
Right.
The conditions of his release, that he has to have regular drug tests and
okay.
such. Anyway, so she met him, was very impressed by him, wrote him a letter of support, and he's coming out.
I suppose,
The Incarceration Reduction Agreement Act.
Right, okay. So, I guess when you have this profile, it is about using your profile in the most meaningful way. Obviously, there's all the titivation and all of the silliness and all of the earning millions for one Instagram post. But I guess they could, by their own choice, not do anything socially, couldn't they? Not do a single thing.
You could just lie on the beach all day, with 4 kids. Yes, she's got nannies. Yes, she's got this. Yes, she's got that. And I'm not one of these people that likes to bash people for not having money or bash people for having money.
No.
I just think we just shouldn't think about that.
And I'd imagine that she's getting a lot of stick and laughter and people going, you want to be a lawyer? You want to be a lawyer?
But not from this guy.
There's all sorts of fights happening in the movie world with some of my favourite filmmakers. Martin Scorsese has caused all sorts of untoward mayhem in the Marvel universe by claiming that Marvel films aren't cinema.
Blimey.
He's come out and
Is
he
he
said,
all right?
I know. And he's
God.
also said this, and he's backed it up by saying they're nothing more than souped up theme park rides. Now, number of responses to this. There have been a number of responses. Now, James Gunn...
What's your definition of cinema?
What's your definition as well?
What is wrong with me?
I don't know. It's
because
really
I've not
strange.
had a single thing to eat.
What's your definition of What is your definition of cinema? Absolutely. Well, Karen Gillan, who I think went to your school, who is also one of the stars of Guardians of the Galaxy and Jumanji, she said, isn't cinema just telling stories with pictures?
Exactly.
And in that sense, isn't all cinema game?
And snootiness. That's very, very snooty, Scorsese. I'm not pleased with you, Scorsese.
I'm not pleased with him either. But here's the thing. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, is particularly aggrieved because I think he proves with his films that you can bring an authorial eye and create a very distinct sense of humour. Ant-Man, I think, does the same thing too. The new Joker's done the same thing as well. So I don't think it's one size fits all. And I think James Gunn's particularly upset because, like he said, he remembers when Scorsese's film The Last Temptation of Christ came out and all the religious groups are saying just don't see it, it's awful, it's sacrilegious, and they hadn't seen it. And like James Gunn is saying about Scorsese, he hasn't actually sat through a Marvel film.
It's not on.
And Samuel L. Jackson has kicked in too, saying it just ain't cricket. Though he didn't use the cricket analogy, he used baseball. So anyway, so that little fight's kicked off between all my favourite filmmakers, really.
Oh, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Angelina Jolie. So many people don't.
I know, people get really angry about
because people either fall into the Jennifer Aniston or the Angelina Jolie. Well, I have huge sympathy for Jennifer Aniston.
I like Jennifer
Aniston. And understanding I like Jennifer Aniston, but actually it was Brad Pitt's fault because he was the married one.
Yes, absolutely. Well, why are people anti-Jennifer Aniston?
No, they're anti-Angelina Jolie because she was married to...
I think people are anti-Angelina Jolie because she is simply so gorgeous.
She's so...
I mean, sorry, it's just a fact.
Oh, my God.
And
no,
imagine...
Don't be so base. So is Jennifer Aniston.
No, Jennifer Aniston is gorgeous too, and I think that's why there's... I think there's antiness towards women who are gorgeous and who've had... a gorgeous husband too.
I think she is gorgeous, and I think she's smart, and I think she's another one who tries to do good with her celebrity for sure. I don't think she's ever said anything before about their breakup. She's spoken and said a magazine, Madame Figaro magazine. Ever heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Madame Figaro.
Never heard of it, but I might subscribe now.
So she has revealed that the decision to divorce was a very complex moment for both of them. I don't just love them.
I love Angelina Jolie when she reveals anything.
And she also added to this that she had lost herself a bit when her relationship with Brad was hitting rock bottom.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the same.
Yeah.
Relatable. Wouldn't everyone say that in a marriage?
Yeah.
And that she very much had to, that she says that she was profoundly, deeply sad. I was hurt. On the other hand, it was interesting, and this is what I love about celebrity and actors.
Okay, go for it.
It was interesting to tap into this humility and sense of insignificance. I love that. Most of us feel insignificant all the time, but she found it really interesting to find some insignificance and tap into it.
That tells you a lot, because I struggle to tap out of insignificance.
Yeah, exactly. But I suppose if you're a gorgeous, multi-million-dollar superstar, daughter of multi-million-pound superstars, to be fair, insignificance isn't a thing that you probably would have experienced.
I doubt she's ever felt any degree of insignificance.
Yeah, so she says that, I mean, I suppose any actor, you're using everything that you go through and you're storing it for any part you might bring to. And, no surprise, she says that her children have really got her through. Apparently she was extremely emotional when she dropped Maddox. Maddox, the oldest one, who she seems to have a very, very close relationship. She adopted him on her own.
Right.
She was supposed to adopt him with, what was her first husband? The second husband?
Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton, and then it all crashed down. And she was apparently distraught at dropping him off at college in South Korea.
So is the story here she's learned a lesson from her split with Brad and she's passing it on to her kids?
I suppose the thing that I loved most about this was that she's tapping into feeling insignificant.
Angelina Jolie feels insignificant. Well, that's good because her new film's coming out, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil or whatever it is.
Yeah, we saw her once.
Yes.
We always tell this story, but we love it. We followed her all the way around the art gallery with our husband.
To be honest, she followed
Brad,
Maddie.
And we just watched her and we were worried that she was going to fancy
me
taking Maddie off.
Yeah, she kept looking at me thinking, God, why are you so much nicer than my husband?
Yeah.
What could I do?
Tiny, like this big, tiny. You expect her.
She was.
Because on screen, her face, those bones, but her bones are very delicate and small.
She
She's
looked
very
ill.
beautiful. Very beautiful.
Okay, well.
And he was very, very beautiful. much more so
He
than you would
was,
think,
yeah,
wasn't
and
he?
he was tall,
really
and he was great,
like
he had long hair and
movie
yeah,
star,
right.
much
Easy
taller than you
tiger.
would have thought he would
Jesus
have been.
Christ, there was me trying to compete with him in it. This is a bit of an annoying one. This was drawn to our attention by Ashley, one of our followers, and now, there's a moment in the new Joker film, which of course as a household we've been absolutely floored by. It's causing a lot of controversy. A lot of people are demanding it to be banned. A lot of people are claiming it is, well, mainly the Mail Online, are claiming that it depicts mental health in a triggering manner. All these things are up for debate, and my theory on all of these things is you should never ban anything, but you can certainly decide not to see it.
Well, certainly give good warnings. Because people can be triggered.
Is it enough of a warning just to say it's a 15? I think we don't need to nanny state this state anymore. In America, where I think you've got it absolutely spot on, it's totally down to parental discretion. And incidentally, I looked into the legalities.
I can't believe that when America is so funny about other things.
They trust parents to make the right decisions. And I do think that
all
sometimes...
films? You mean there's no
all
X?
films. Well, there are, but it's parental recommended to go with them for a 17 even.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. Strictly speaking, in this country, it is not illegal to show your children any rated film in the home. But here's the thing, there is one problem. Could there be one misstep that the Joker film that we all thought was the most perfect film of the year has made? And I think there might be one.
Oh, wow,
but I think there might be a misstep that perhaps the filmmakers were even unaware of themselves. And that is the fact that a very important point in the story, almost like that transitional point where Joaquin Phoenix's character transitions it fully into the Joker and he's dancing down the steps, they play the opening chords for 2 minutes, continuous, of Gary Glitter's 1972 hit Rock and Roll Part 2. And it's an incredibly pertinent and brilliant moment in the film. But as it played, it crossed over my mind, but I was so engulfed in the film, I thought, I'm sure this is Gary Glitter. Now, of course, the problem with that is that the soundtrack... Yeah, he's a convicted paedophile, Gary Glitter. And the horror around this is he set to earn big royalties from the Joker film? Now, Warner Brothers have refused to comment on this, and I've got a slight feeling that their due diligence in their lawyer department might not have picked this up. It might have just been
So would you need to check things like
that?
that?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, but imagine from an American POV, where a very obscure glam rock figure in the UK who has chosen to be forgotten. So what do they suggest?
Might they have to take it out of the film? They can't.
Well, they're not saying that, but we are in a situation where we don't quite know. He could stand to make an absolute fortune because of two things. The duration of the song is 2 minutes. The film has broken all box office records for October and is approaching $250 million. The soundtrack is one of the most compelling soundtracks that Maddie's already downloaded all of the individual tunes from it. So the soundtrack is it's one of those films where the soundtrack's going to gain all sorts. God. So we could have inadvertently be popping money into the pockets of a paedophile.
Well, he can't have that money. That money, you know what I would do? I would make that money go to a child sex slave charity.
It's just it was in Vietnam or something.
Despicable man, and there is no way. Yes, you're like you say, it's obviously an unintentional mistake.
I think it must be.
But they have to rectify it with not.
Yeah,
they have to.
And they're not going to be able to change that scene in the film. It's a critical scene in the film.
But I've got a couple of double Kylie Jenner here. So Travis Scott and Kylie have split up. And there's been all sorts of rumours about affairs and...
He's a singer, right?
Yeah. Maddie says he's a really big deal.
She played some music by him in the car and it was really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really
So
liked
he's
it.
broken his silence amid his split. I love it. Which was confirmed this week that they were split. I was quite surprised about this, actually. I thought the next thing we were going to hear from Kylie was that they were pregnant again. Because a few months ago, on one of her Twitters or her Instagram, she said, let's go home and make a baby. So I thought, we're going to hear a baby next.
Last time you said that, we ate carbonara.
Yeah, I haven't got any ovaries now. So posting on Instagram stories, Travis said, it's really affecting when you see false things said about you once again. These false stories about me cheating are just simply not true. I'm focusing on life, music, and family at this moment is what's real, which is very unusual to make those sort of comments. It makes me think it's probably true. And then Kylie tweeted, Travis and I are on great terms. Our main focus right now is Stormy. Our friendship and our daughter is priority, which I think is just so nice. So Kylie says the internet makes everything 100 times more dramatic than what it really is. There was no 2 a.m. date with Tiger, her ex.
Or Tiga.
He was a rap star as well.
Oh, right.
You see me drop 2 of my friends off at a studio and that he happened to be at. It's very unusual for stars these days to comment on these things because, as we know, you comment and then it
do you
feeds.
think,
like now we're even talking about it.
But do you think there's a bit of a sort of a shift in showbiz stories around certain celebrities where by taking control of it on your own social media, you can slightly dictate and control the means of distribution of the story? Because yes, the papers are going to lift quotes from it, but people want that strange deceit of social media where you feel like you're talking to the actual celebrity. People are going to trust the actual post.
Well, I think I do trust them because it's not one person saying it, and I think it will. I think in this situation, it probably will shut it down. I believe that it's not an affair. The rumor is that she wanted to get married and have a second baby, and he didn't.
Right.
So. I do think you always have to be careful with responding because the press will take anything and make fuel for their fire out of it.
But sometimes I think
this might have shut it down.
But I sometimes think the press can only do so much with what they get on social media because that's all there is to go on, if you know what I mean. You know, whereas if you get a quote or if you photograph someone, if it's just something, I don't know, sometimes I think almost social media liberates celebrities caught up in the firestorm of these things. But I do think if they had got home and had that second child, they should have called it weather. Stormy weather. Boom, boom. Final little photographic story.
No, but hang on, I just wanted to just also comment on this with Kylie. Wait for this, guys. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I didn't know this was possible.
What?
I didn't even know this was out there in the world.
What? Vegetarian burgers?
No.
What?
A £3 million car?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently Kylie,
I used to have one.
According to the Forbes rich list, has been named the youngest ever billionaire.
Right.
Bought a £3 million Bugatti sports car.
That's excessive.
Never heard out of it. Never heard of it. And she actually posted on Instagram a little look around the car.
We'll try and show it.
She's only 22. Anyway, as you would imagine, a lot of fans had a go about it.
It's not very relatable, is it?
Rather than responding to that, she deleted the film. But you know, you talk about relatable, and I think, yes, on one hand, that is what people want from social media and everything. But also, nothing really about the Kardashians is relatable. So people are looking at it aspirationally.
Right.
And unfortunately, though I actually think they're quite a nice family, I do get the rage that people have towards them, that children and young people are looking up to them and saying, this is what I want and that one. But I don't necessarily think that that's their fault.
Right. Do you think they should be posting films of 3 million Bugattis?
It's
in
like
a world where
the
the haves are fewer and further far between, and the
but I think she's 22, and I think she doesn't quite get that.
Well, I'm sure she doesn't.
I suppose if you live among billionaires and multimillionaires, it's just a car.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know you could have a car for £3 million.
Final little picture story from me. I don't know why, I got a little bit nostalgic. I'm not a big Friends fan, and I wasn't. Well, that's not true. I think everyone was a Friends fan at some point. But I think Courtney Cox posted a little snap of her with her friends out at dinner. And I think it got everyone a little bit excited in Twittersville and internet
she
land.
Doesn't look like her, does
she doesn't at all. I interviewed Courtney Cox once when she was in Scream, and warmth wasn't there much. But it was nice to see the three faces, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think
they look like they're dressed up as somebody else.
I know what you mean. They do, don't they? They don't look like real heads.
Oh my God!
Jennifer Aniston
it's
doesn't
really
look like
weird.
Jennifer Aniston.
Do you think it's
strange.
them?
I think it's definitely them. But would you like a reunion?
With who?
Friends. Would you like Friends to reunite?
Oh, sorry.
Who the fuck do you think I mean? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I think it's the time. I think it's done. I think that's it. Yeah.
I think personally, I'd quite like it. Everything
Mind you,
else
they
has been
probably
80s.
were. They are all such good comic actors.
Yeah, they are.
And actually, they're all still friends. And they're why not? Like you said, what is coming back?
30-something is coming back.
Which was a great British drama that we both loved, and they're bringing it back with their kids grown up.
Yeah, their kids grown up and them as grandparents or parents or something. Anyway, there's your showbiz. Tell us what you think. Comment below.
Yeah, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. There's all sorts of things. We do the one thing that they say not to do on YouTube. If you want a successful YouTube channel, they absolutely say don't do it. They say don't have loads of different content. But we've gone,
that's weird, isn't it?
Sod it. We're going to have loads of different content.
We're a channel.
There's something for everyone. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you'll know when we're doing something. You just shook my screen.
Shook your screen. Sorry.
It's not really showbiz, is it?
You're quite showbiz.
I think like I can feel him literally getting bored of me speaking.
I'm not at all. I'm loving your outro.
So he's like literally going
I'm loving your outro.
Anyway.
You just need to hit me in the face.
Ta-da.
Get out of it.